Welcome back to the channel. You guys know the issues that I've had over the last couple of weeks, months with my right knee and the discomfort that seems to sort of come along, disappear for a bit. I feel a bit better. I don't want to push myself too hard and then it comes back again. A couple of weeks ago, maybe the sort of start of last week, I was thinking, okay, it's feeling much better now. It's one of those things that when you know you've had an issue, you kind of think about it more often than you wouldn't if it wasn't there. So that makes sense. But I was kind of thinking about it, thinking, okay, feeling okay now, might think about racing again. And then I woke up the next day and my entire right leg had just sort of, I don't know, not cramped up, but just tensed up. And I woke up in the morning, I could feel the whole leg aching. And I thought, what has gone on here? That led me to start looking into a little bit more about what might be the cause behind the knee discomfort I was getting. And I guess it makes sense. The more I read, the more I understood that the knees are supported by the muscles around it. And it could be something in the muscles around the knee and in my leg that are causing the knee to be just pulled slightly in the wrong direction and stretching certain muscles in the knee. Anyway, that led me to buying one of these. And these are amazing. I need to try and work on the different muscles in my legs, the quads, the glutes, etc., the calves as well, and the hamstring, to try and just loosen up those muscles. And the more that I've worked them with this, you feel like an instant release. It's really strange. You feel like an instant release in sort of the tense areas. And what I've noticed over the last couple of days, my knee now feels a lot better, but I'm getting a little bit of discomfort now in my hip and sort of different areas within my leg that I'm just going to have to keep working on, and hopefully they will fix the issue. It was almost like I was compensating for something going on, possibly in my hip, and it was causing my knee to have issues. So hopefully, if I continue to work on that, continue to ride, the knee will get better, and then the other issues that I've got will heal as well, along with stretching and doing some other, exercises as well, just to kind of hopefully make it feel a bit better, fingers crossed. That did make me wonder about what the cause was for the discomfort I was getting. I've always had a little bit of discomfort in my legs and my muscles. I've always put that down to maybe being very overweight and maybe causing the issues. And I never really thought about looking into it and trying to fix it. But I've always said to myself that nothing is caused by my bike and my bike fit, because I've always been comfortable on the bike. I have not changed a thing on this bike since the day I bought it, because I've always been comfortable on it. I've never had a bike fit, but I'm thinking that possibly it's causing something. Something is out of alignment and it's causing issues with my hips. So I should probably try and do a bike fit. I haven't got the money to go and do a proper bike fit with my bike and all of that stuff with a professional, but I thought I'd give MyVeloFit a go, because I've seen a couple of people have used it, and at least it would tell me whether I'm miles out of alignment. So I've been looking at that website and how that works, and I thought I should take you through it before I jump on and actually do the bike fit. So on the website then, I have set up my profile, and it's really useful because it kind of tells you, here's the main website. You go through all the different bits that it does and how it works, how you take a video of yourself, and they call it AI. Is it AI? Maybe it's just algorithms in the background that have a look at the angles within your body and decide whether you're sitting on the bike correctly, where you're pedaling, the circles are correct, whether it's accurate, and it offers recommendations to improve on those. It's a really useful tool. I'm not going to go through this whole website. There was a really useful thing about how to get a perfect bike fit from this tool, and I've read this, and there's some interesting bits in here that I hadn't thought about. The first one is the bike being level. I don't have my front wheel on a riser, so I think I measured it. My front wheel is about 2 inches lower than my back wheel. So my first thing to fix is to get this really old riser that I had years ago out, put that underneath my front wheel. So that will sort that issue out. But also in here, it tells you about, you do a couple of tests on your body mobility, lower and upper body. And then the bike assessment is an iterative process where you upload a video, it checks it, you get the results, you can make some adjustments, and you go around in that circle until you get to where you need to be. And it gives you some ideas about the best way to take the video, and that you need to, the setup for the video needs to be on a level bike. That's given me the idea. How the rider needs to stand out from the background, and where to set the camera up. So it needs to be at saddle height and obviously side on to the rider, and not on the floor. And then you just put a 10 to 20 second clip together, upload it to the software, and it gives you lots of recommendations. So that's what I'm going to go and do. I'm going to go and get changed, put my cycling gear on, even though I'm not going to go for essentially it's Tuesday night and I'm using my Tuesday night time on the bike to try and get this done. So I'm not going to go for a big long ride, but I'm going to warm up for a bit and somehow put the camera in the right angle to see my bike, which might be difficult a little bit. I might have to move the bike around just because of the way the desk kind of blocks my bike, but that's not important. I'm going to go and get changed, and yeah, let's see how this process works. Before I do, actually, I need to show you the next bit. So on the website, I've set myself up, I've set my profile up, I've put a rough estimate of my weight in because I don't really know what it is at the moment. I don't want to know. But you then set up a session, and in that session, I guess you can pick whatever bike, so you can have multiple sessions within the pricing structure. Let's see if we can get to that on the main website. Pricing, individual pricing, they do it for business as well. You can either, there is a free option, which has disappeared now. I've signed up, weirdly. I've signed up for the Enthusiast. You get 2 weeks access for that time, for $35. You get one rider profile, which will be me, and one single bike. And I can upload 5 videos a day and essentially get everything else you get in the Pro. But with the Pro, you get 1 year access and unlimited profiles and unlimited bikes. Within this, then, I've set up a session. You set up a session, so I've called it my first fitting session. What do you want the goal to be? There are 3 options, like performance and comfort, or comfort. I'm not going to go for performance. I'm not desperate for performance. I kind of went in the middle because I'd like to be able to be all right in races. So I thought, well, I'll pick the middle one. I don't know. Bike make, my trusty old Kona Zing. I put that in there, and then you select your bike type. So road, gravel, mountain bike, etc. Mine is a road bike. And then you set up the session, and it gives you a bit of instructions here. Again, it tells you to warm up and all the different things you need to do, and then you upload your first video. So I'm going to go and do that now. Let's see. It took me ages to get the camera in a position to fit the entirety of the bike and me in the shot. I hadn't appreciated with the cameras that I've got how far away the camera would have to be. Ended up on the windowsill and pushing my bike back as far as I could against the wall without impeding my cycling. It's still quite tight. I don't know whether this is going to pick up what it needs to on this video, but I'll give it a go. I haven't actually thought about what it is going to tell me. I've kind of thought I need to do a bike fit. If it comes up with anything major, like I need new parts or whatever, that's going to be a long-term solution, not something I can fix quickly. Things like moving seat posts up and down and handlebars around, I could probably do okay. I need to find the tools. See, I've thought to myself, this is how impulsive I can be sometimes. I thought at lunchtime today, I'm going to do a bike fit. I'm doing the bike fit, and I haven't thought about what I'm going to have to do with the results it tells me. So that's something I have to think about afterwards. But let's load the video in. I can't believe I'm going to put this video on the internet. It's horrific. The sight of me on a bike that isn't my head on is just, it's horrible. But let's head over to the website then. So this is my session, fit session. What do I do here then? We're in my session, upload first video, select a file. Now it says it should do this within 2 minutes, I think it said, so it's relatively quick. There we go. I've selected a video. Analyze. Let's see. what this is going to spit out. Like I said, I can't believe I'm putting this for the whole world to see. Right, where are we now then? Oh, it's still processing the analysis. It's just got basically a summary of what I selected there in this fit session. So, oh, we can enter the bike measurements. I don't know what they are. I can measure them. Do I need them? Let's see what I need to do. Okay, I'd have to measure all of those. I'm going to see if it needs them when it's finished analysing. So I'll come back when that's finished. Okay, we're back. I uploaded that at 6:59. It was done. The clock still said 7 o'clock when it was done, so less than 2 minutes. Let's have a look at what this is suggesting. First off, you just see lots of adjustments already. So the saddle height is too low, needs to be raised by 5 millimeters. Okay, and then the saddle fore and aft will be assessed after the saddle height is optimal. Okay, so I've got to get that done first. Handlebar height is saying is a bit, oh, it says it's in range, but is a bit low, on the low side. Do we get any information about this? Handlebar height recommendations are primarily driven by your back angle. Handlebar height recommendations can be heavily impacted by saddle height changes. So does that mean then that if I change my saddle height, my handlebar height is probably going to be too low as well? My handlebar reach is on the short side, but it still says in range. That surprises me because I do feel like I'm leaning forward a little bit. I do have a bit of an issue with leaning too much and how do I say this? My large belly being in the way of my legs going up and down when I'm leaning forward. So I don't know if I moved it even further forward, what that would feel like. Or does this change? They're driven by the shoulder angle, handlebar heights, the fore and aft, and saddle height may also impact handlebar reach. So again, that's going to be dependent on changing. It's all depending on that saddle height, getting that right first, isn't it? And then the others might change. That can only be adjusted by changing the stem length. So that would involve money, so I'm not going to be doing that, I don't think, if it's in range. So additional notes, both saddle height and fore and aft are off. It is advisable to make sure that they're correct before following recommendations for handlebar height and stem length. Okay, so essentially, oh, and here's an even further summary in here then. So top of pedal stroke, this just gives you all the angles that I'm at and whether they're in range anywhere. So the back angle is on the low side. The shoulder angle is right on that cusp as well. They're both right on the cusp of that recommended range. Bottom of the saddle stroke, again, back and shoulder angles are too small. So again, raising the saddle height, would that not make those angles smaller? Would 43, if I raise the saddle, would that not make that angle smaller? Or am I being silly? I don't know. Front of pedal stroke, again, it's all about the back and shoulder angles being wrong. Tracking of the knee and the ankle, overall positioning, that I don't know what that means. Is that good or bad? It doesn't actually say. So my centre of mass is here. My hip, is that picked up my hip there? Is that a little dot, orange? And then knee and ankle moving around the pedal. I don't know what that means. I don't know whether that's good or bad. Doesn't say. Maybe I'll get more of that when I get the other bits right. And the video analysis of the pedalling motion. So is that just a... Oh yeah, we get to see the video again. Lovely. So it's just a video of the lines of my body, how it's tracked my body as it's gone along. Okay, so let's stop that and not view that anymore. Main thing is then, let's get the saddle height right, correct. Raising the saddle height by 5 mil. And then seeing what it suggests then on the other things, which I think is going to probably throw out. So I don't know whether I've got time to do that now. This might be something that I have to do in the next couple of days. Getting this camera back, I've had to move it to record this, to get this camera back to where it was in the position I need it to record from the same angle. It's going to be fun. But yeah, okay, I know what I need to do. I just need to go and find the time and get it done, whether that is this evening or maybe tomorrow at some point. But yeah, and I need to go find the tools. But yeah, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to go and sort that out, and you'll see me once I've done it. Luckily, I found an Allen key in the drawer right behind me. The only tool that was in there was the Allen key that would fit the saddle. I raised it by 5mm, redone a video, just about to run it through the analyze now. And let's see if there's a big difference once it's run through this. So I'll let it do its thing and I'll come back. Okay, so it's analysed the second ride and it's still saying the saddle height needs to be raised by 5mm. I don't know whether that's the maximum it says to raise it by each time just to get it in the right zone. It's still very, very low. I don't know whether now to just raise it by, say, 10mm, maybe even 15, just to see it closer into that green zone. I don't know what to do there. And it's also saying that my handlebar height now is 10mm too short. The other two are still in range. Maybe I'll just raise the saddle first, see how that is. I've got 5 uploads a day. I can now see why you get so many uploads and so many assessments, because it's just going to keep moving. I don't even know how I'd raise my handlebar. I don't even know if I can. Maybe I have to raise the angle of the handlebar itself and just have the hoods further up. I don't know. I don't know. But my dinner's ready now, so I'm going to go and have that. I will probably raise the saddle height by 10, maybe 15mm, and reassess everything again. Down here, I'm back. I'm out of range for the back angle now. I'm still on the same bit, 80 degrees for the shoulder angle. So it's this back that is now, which I kind of thought was what was going to happen. The angle got smaller because I've raised my back up. So it doesn't surprise me that that back angle is telling me it's incorrect. But that's, I guess, where the handlebars are going to have to raise at the end. So anyway, I'm going to do the same with the saddle after I've had dinner possibly, and then have another go. So I've raised the saddle bar again. My last adjustment for this tonight, I didn't measure how far, but I've just hoiked it up because I'm so far out of that green zone. It's probably 15mm anyway that I've raised it up, but not made any other adjustments. Want to see what happens, see where it comes out. And I apologise previously. I realised I had my face right over where some of the results were. So I'm really sorry if you couldn't see some of the last 2 tests. I have just made a mistake and used up one of my video uploads by not cutting the end of the video off, which threw out some of the calculations on it because it had me getting off the bike and was measuring the angles at the wrong point. So if you're going to do it, make sure that you do it and you clip the beginning and the end of your videos off. Anyway, let's let this do its analysis and see how millions of miles out we are now. Okay, so it's just popped up. I'm now in range for the saddle height. It's still on the lower side, but I am in range. And I think if I increase that any more, it might cause a bit more of a problem with the handlebar height, because it's still saying it needs to be raised by 10mm. I'm surprised that hasn't gone up, and it's definitely on the very left of that scale. So yeah, my handlebar reach is now better. It's in range, which is good. So actually, we'll just have to currently deal with the handlebar height. I've no doubt that if I deal with that, it's going to throw something else off. No additional notes. You see this back angle has come down even further to 38 degrees now. I guess as expected, as this back rises, this angle gets smaller. I will only fix it by increasing the height in the handlebars and sort of shifting my body back up again. So got to find a solution to that. Again, back angle, everything else, I guess the fore after, I'll just wait until I know what else is happening. But everything else is sort of within range now. Just need to deal with that handlebar. So I'll have a think about how to do that. I just think if you look on the picture, if I angled that up a bit further to get a bit of height, it's going to bring my hands in a bit and probably change all of these angles. I don't know whether that will be good or bad, but it's the only way that I can increase the height on the bike, because unless I'm being dumb, I can't work out how to increase the height of the handlebars here. But that is a problem for another day. Yeah, at least I've made some steps in improving. It might give a bit of an idea about why I've been having problems with my hips, because my seat hasn't been high enough. It's a couple of days later now. It's Thursday. I thought tonight I'm going to join the T2.5 race. Not to race, but they're racing up the Bologna TT. And I haven't done that in a long time, and it's not an easy course to get to. So I thought, you know what, I'll just join the race and cycle up the hill and just enjoy the ride as much as you can enjoy riding up a hill. But I've got probably about half an hour between now and that starting. I want to have one more go at changing some stuff on the bike, or changing the handlebars, because I need to move everything back to be able to get on and do that ride, because it's a bit too close to the wall at the moment. So what I've done is I've rotated this upwards to try and get some height. I might need to move the hoods down a little bit, but I've rotated that upwards to see if, what would that be? I don't know. 2 centimeters? I don't know how much, but I thought I'd do what I did with the saddle, just raise it right up, see what results it gives me, and then if I need to come down, I can move it in between. I can't go up any higher than that. Who knows what that's going to be like riding, but yeah, I'm going to get the camera set up and do the same thing, and then we'll find out how that does. I think all I've achieved there is just rotating my wrists, if I'm honest. That is probably going to get a little bit uncomfortable after a while. I might have to, I don't know. The analyzer's finished. Let's have a look at the results. I've not looked at these yet. Let's see what it says. Okay, so as expected, saddle height in range still stays the same. The saddle fore and aft. Is it aft or aft? I don't know. It's still in range. A little bit forward, but that's okay. Handlebar height is now in range. I mean, very, very slightly, but that increase has put it in range, even though it only felt like my wrists moved. And now I've lost the handlebar reach. So I think the only thing for me to try is to move the hoods down, which will mean that my hands then sit further up, further away, so the reach will extend again. Maybe that will keep the height and make it a little bit more comfortable on my wrists. Never done changing of those before, so that's going to be fun working out how to do that. But I think that's probably the only way. Either way, I'm going to go and do this ride tonight, just trundle up the this hill, see how it feels, and I'll let you know afterwards. And hopefully that saddle height change has, I don't know whether I'll tell the difference on my knees or my hips, if I'm honest, because I rode with what it was like before perfectly fine. Who knows if that was causing longer term problems, but let's see how it goes and I'll let you know after. So I've now done 2 rides with the new setup. First one being the TT race. I didn't race it, but the TT ride on Thursday night up the Bologna TT. And I forgot how steep that hill gets. I thought it was, in my head, it was like 6-7%, but it got up to 15%, I think, at one point. But I haven't ridden that one in years, so it was good to tick that one off. That took me about 30 to 35 minutes, I think. I'm going by memory. My memory is awful, so who knows? I think it was about that long. And then I did Saturday morning, which was an hour-long group ride, and I certainly started to feel things more after being on the bike longer. It isn't comfortable having my wrists tilted up like that, so I'm going to have to move the brake levers forward to give me sort of that leveling out of those. It should keep the height the same, but hopefully add to the reach. The other thing I was feeling was sort of at the start of a pins and needles feeling in the bottom half of my legs and the outside of my feet, which is something that I did used to feel, but haven't felt in a long time. I don't know whether that's just me getting used to being set up how I should be on the bike, or there's something wrong with the setup. So that's something to think about. Anyone got any ideas? Let me know in the comments below. If it starts to cause issues, then I'm going to have to move, maybe even lower the saddle again. I don't even know if that's the cause of it. But what I'm going to do, and I've edited most of this video already, and it's already 20 minutes long, so I'm not going to do the change of the handlebars. The next step, I'll do that in the next video. Otherwise, this is going to be very long and very boring for you to watch. So I'm going to end this one here. I feel like we're in a better place with the setup. I know what was wrong, although I'm not yet convinced it's better than what it was before. And I guess it's a long-term feeling of what it's going to do to my hip and my leg, my right leg. So yeah, part way there, a little way more to go. But also I got on the bike a little bit more again this week. I did lose the Tuesday ride because I was doing the bike setup, but I'm still trying to get on when I can, when the baby allows, when family stuff allows, when work allows and all of that stuff. But yes, I want to say a huge thank you to all of the channel members coming up the screen now. I will finish off the bike setup in the next video, so keep an eye out for that. But if you have enjoyed this one, do hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.